What's up everyone, this is Ryan here, and today I'll be giving you the roundup of the top altcoins that I will be looking at during this week. Now, disclaimer, right? Whenever I do a video and people think that, oh, within the week it's going to make money. No, don't think that way, all right? When I'm looking at projects that are going to have some kind of news throughout the year. Like we're talking about camping 3 to 6 months, setting up the bait, accumulating enough tokens along the way so that you are able to go and hit it big when it actually pops. Now, Ripple was something that I wasn't looking at for the past 3 weeks or so. You know, when it hit the high, I didn't bother, but now I'm picking up a little bit of Ripple here and there. People in my group chat, I've also mentioned that, you know, look at Ripple, and so far it's been pretty good. Now, there were people who picked up Ripple at the 10,000 Satoshi mark. Some picked it up at slightly a little bit lower, but they were up to a maximum of 30 to 40% when it hit the high of yesterday at the 13,000 to 14,000 Satoshi mark. So for those who are not in the Telegram group chat, right, there is a link in the description for you to join the chat, come in and you know, discuss about cryptocurrencies, whether is it about mining, programming, talking about the blockchain, ICOs. I welcome you to that chat, but bear in mind, please don't spam my chat with other shit, okay? Just respect my channel and build the community and value add to it. So, okay, so we're looking at the interoperability boost that in Ripple. So we're having Ripple really build itself up, okay, towards something bigger. I would say Q3, Q4 is going to be decent for Ripple. June is going to be pretty quiet. If it moves in June, it's most likely just speculative, and I'm not really too much interested into the whole speculation play. I'd rather go for the fundamentals, like what is going to happen to Ripple by this year, right? So looking at the chart now, right, I'm looking at Ripple, I'm looking at Ethereum Classic, I'm looking at Doge, and I'm looking at Stellar Lumens. Now, why am I looking at Doge, Stellar Lumens, and Ripple? They are all focusing on the micropayments. Okay, I'm very specific. Stellar Lumens is already existingly looking at working, already has a small little partnership with Deloitte. Now, and also recently, they actually visited IBM. So, whatever that they're planning is gonna be probably big, you know, either the next 6 months to even next year. So I'm pretty bullish about Stellar. I'm pretty bullish about Ripple. And for Doge, right, because recently they started to pick up in terms of volume again, I think it's more of a sleeper. They don't have a proper roadmap out. That's something that I'm really against, but I want to pick it up as a sleeper coin because a lot of you guys are looking at coins that are below $1, and I think these three coins fit the bill pretty nicely, and they have decent fundamentals. They have either a strong community or decent fundamentals backing them up. All right, so now, that being said, the only one that is in the smart contract platform or the smart contract arena that I'm recommending is Ethereum Classic. Okay, I've been bullish about Ethereum Classic. I've been bullish at $170, $3, $5, even below 10. I was bullish. I am still bullish because of the fact that the roadmap, okay, the roadmap of Ethereum Classic is going to launch their Emerald wallet and at the same time change the monetary policy. Okay, so we have to bear in mind when there's a change of monetary policy, there's going to be a limited amount of circulating coins. All right, at the same time, okay, the Emerald platform will also have the SDK. Now the SDK is of course for third-party developers to start, you know, building full functioning applications. And also there's going to be a contract developer suite. So those who are, you know, contract developers with Ethereum Classic, you are able to have a suite yourself. There's going to be a polished version of the Emerald wallet in June. Okay, so yeah, guys, it's pretty exciting. So let's get to the levels. So first up, let's look at Ripple. Okay, so Ripple, if you're deciding to enter I'm going to keep the chart very, very simple, guys. If you're looking at entering Ripple, I would say that this is your initial support that you like to purchase at if you don't want to miss out too much, right? Because it has really risen from the time I actually gave my buy call. So your Q price would be 11,971 satoshis. Okay. Now, if you want to be very conservative, okay, like you don't want to chase this, you queue at 9,134 satoshis. Okay. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now next, you have Ethereum Classic. Now Ethereum Classic, same thing. Use the strength of BTC. If you guys are now holding BTC, it is the best time to pick up all these coins because you want to use the strength of BTC to leverage and enter these coins. If you will always ignore the US dollar. Okay, ignore the US dollar because the US dollar is getting weak, guys. So you're going to see a higher US dollar value. But when you look at BTC against the BTC, whatever cryptocurrency that I'm recommending against the BTC, use that strength to pick them up. So pick up if you're looking at Ethereum Classic, and only if you feel that fundamentally you agree with me, then you can look at Ethereum Classic at 0.00648 satoshis. Okay, and if you're very conservative, you can look at 0.0047681 satoshis. Okay, this is if you're very conservative. Now, people will be wondering, oh, how do I know from a US dollar perspective, how much do these levels cost? Or what's the price point? Now, it's very simple. Just, for example, let's take 0.00648 and you times whatever is the Bitcoin price now. So let's say we go to, let's go to Coinbase. Okay, let's just go to Coinbase, okay, just for the sake of this example, right? And Coinbase is looking at a 2,500. So you take that times 2,506, it's a $16.23. Okay, at this level it's 16.23. Okay, now conservatively, if you're looking at entering Ethereum Classic at 0.476, okay, let's just, for the sake of this, 2005, it's 1190. Okay, so what did I just do? I took whatever that was the ETC BTC price and I multiplied that by the existing price of the Bitcoin in terms of USD. Okay, got it? If you just want to know. But this is all quoted in satoshis. Okay. Okay, now next, for Stellar Lumens, I'm looking at Stellar Lumens because, okay, Stellar has actually built a very, very strong community, right? They're building a very strong community. At the same time, they're already working on a couple of projects going forward. And they're also towards the financial side, okay? Anything that is financial, I'm pretty open to it, even though it's allocated towards the bank and fintechs, but the banks have money, guys, okay? Why Waves has been doing so well recently of late is because, well, we need trading platforms. We need more decentralized trading platforms. We need contract for differences platforms. Okay, we need prediction market platforms. Okay, we just need all this so that people can start investing in the space with various types of instruments. Now, Stellar, of course, is looking at payment processing, right? They're looking at low-cost financial products for the community. So that's their selling point. Okay, so just bear in mind, remember, as I always mention, don't just step in blindly just because I say so. Look at the coins, look at the coins, look at the tokens, and look at the development team, the community, and the fundamentals, what sector they're in before you buy. Okay, so next, okay, so as I was saying, Stellar Lumens, you can queue anywhere between 1,400 satoshis to 15,900 1,400 satoshis to 1,597 satoshis. Okay, for conservatively accumulating Stellar Lumens. Now, of course, you see the whole run up, there are people stuck. So you have a very high and very thick sell wall happening. See, because these are all the people stuck. These are all the people stuck. They're disappointed that they picked it up at a high. You're going to see, oh, you know, It's a very thick sell wall, but I don't care. I'm not looking at what's the short-term play. I'm looking at the long-term play here. Okay, next. Doge. Now, Doge is a sleeper, right? Doge, on the other hand, conservatively, they don't have like a solid, exciting roadmap. Okay, this is what I find a little bit disappointing, because they recently just started to have funding, right? Because of this very long candle, they started to get excited themselves, the developers. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to recommend looking at queuing at 111 Satoshis, or if you're very conservative, at 86 Satoshis. Okay, these are the two levels that I'm looking at, nothing more. Okay, now, so it's very, very straightforward. Okay, it's very, very straightforward already. Now, what do you do with those profits? Especially now, what if, let's say, you're very comfortable with, or you're worried about BIP 148. Now, BIP 148 is, of course, the user activated soft fork, UASF. Now, as an investor, all I know is that I want to have my Bitcoins on a wallet that is supporting BIP 148. Now, there are plenty of videos explaining what BIP 148 is. You also can go to the website that I'm going to put a link to the description in this video again, where you can read about how do you secure your existing Bitcoins when BIP 148, the user activated soft fork, occurs. Okay, just go and read it, just try to understand it, use those. And by the way, exchanges, make sure exchanges are supporting BIP 148. So as of now, you have until anywhere June, July, until August the 1st to make sure that your Bitcoins are on BIP 148 supported exchanges and wallets. Okay? Okay, so now, a little bit of a strategy play here. Look at gold or look at silver. Okay, there are some people who are thinking of or saying, gold and silver are still relatively undervalued. I agree. I completely agree. The financial markets are showing signs of weakness. Bonds are being repackaged and sold, right? Do you still remember the subprime, where those mortgages were repackaged as a special purpose vehicle and sold to investors, right? And from then, once there was a deleveraging of the housing markets, all these special purpose vehicles or derivatives got basically turned toxic, right? And all the private banks started to dump them, and of course we had the subprime occur. And from then, of course, we had Lehman Brothers, who had to close its doors. All the banks started to have all these issues. Central bank had to bail out a whole bunch of banks. So it's starting to happen. My suggestion is always keep a small portion of gold, literally physical gold, because as the US dollars starts to weaken, you want to make sure that your US dollars is still able to buy gold, because there can be a point in time that US dollars may not be able to buy you gold. All right. So with that being said, right, I hope that this video has given you some insight on a way to diversify your risk, especially when you see the money flowing in. Now, when I say the money flowing in, did we not remember the flash crash on the 27th of May, right? Where Bitcoin fell to 1,006. People thought it was the end of the world, but look at where the market cap is today. 89.6 billion back again. So I tell you folks, I may be too early in my predictions, but I mean it only because I want to make sure that you are preserving your wealth. You're not going to suddenly be in a coin that is going to be shit, and then the next thing you know, this whole thing wipes out, and when the show is over, we only have a few coins left on the market. There's 740 currencies in the markets at the moment. Okay? That is insane. Now, if you are going to be wanting to create a long-lasting portfolio, stick to the fundamentals, go and watch my previous videos, especially the videos that I talk about, investing. Go and watch the video that I mentioned about me losing 150,000 in the stock markets and literally rebuilding everything back up with proper fundamental investing via cryptocurrencies. Go and watch that episode and you clearly will understand. And what are the other strategies that I use that I combine so that I can buy more Bitcoins? So you can have a look at the link in the description below where I actually have a list of programs that I use to supplement my Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? These programs are my fuel so that I can start moving more into fundamentally sound cryptocurrencies or for speculative purposes. Okay, so have a look at the link in the description below. Those who have been following me, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. The subscribership has been growing. The Telegram chat has been growing. But I want to be building more value and adding more value to this channel. So I'll be looking at bringing in a very good friend of mine who day trades, but he's so disciplined that if he teaches you guys how to day trade effectively, and he does that with so much discipline that I feel very comfortable to bring him in despite the fact that I am not a day trader. Okay, so with that being said, stay tuned to that episode. I will announce it in my Telegram chat. And with that being said, God bless, thank you, and have an awesome weekend.